Hi! You may have noticed we've got an extra guest today. We'll talk about this cute little fella soon. But thanks for joining us. And if you've been here before, welcome. Or welcome back. And if you're new,
and they
welcome.
know we're already crazy. Any new people, we're crazy.
We're a little nuts. And this guy's making his first appearance, so he's not a regular. And you can find us on Ravelry and Instagram. All the details are on the opening screen. And so just sit down, grab your knitting, grab a coffee, tea, Coke, beverage of choice. And we'll chat for a bit. And we'd love to hear from you, your thoughts and comments at the end. We love interacting with all of you guys, so thanks.
We'll introduce ourselves.
Yeah, I'm Ange.
I'm Cindy, and this little guy is Tink the Sloth. I just saw him, and he was so cute, and he has to be our knitting mascot.
He's adorable.
He's thrilled to be here. Sorry, I know I'm 40, but I'm 12 at heart. But anyway,
he's so soft.
He is very soft, and he's squishy, and he's huge.
He is. I think we've talked about him once before.
We did. We talked about him last time.
He's off frame.
Yeah. There. I have a hat.
No.
Okay. Anyway, Tink came to say hi. Oh, whoopsie.
Tink causes static.
Oh.
So,
no, Cindy causes static.
On the way here, Cindy put him in the back seat and then buckled him in.
I buckled him in. I totally did, because I am a nerd.
I took a picture. If it turned out, you'll see it at the end of the podcast.
Well, not me, buckling him in, but I took a picture of him buckled in. So maybe I'll actually post something to my Instagram. What a concept. I should post more. I'm just terrible.
So we hope you've all had a good week. We've had kind of a crazy week, but good.
We had... Excuse me? I just
horrible.
burped. I didn't mean to burp. We had a long weekend last weekend, which was lovely, much needed. We did nothing. I got a lot of knitting time. I don't know about you, but I knit crazy amounts last week.
I did mostly research time because I was planning something.
She was planning. Everything she plans takes much, much research.
It takes days of research to start a new project.
Yes.
You know how it is.
It's hilarious. No, I don't. I go, ooh, this is pretty yarn. I'll make a Koolhaas. Actually, I haven't made a Koolhaas in ages. I should make a Koolhaas. No, I made enough of them.
New plans derailed.
I'll make a. What's the other one that I just made that I really... Cattywampus. I'm sorry, I'm mentioning all these
ones
patterns.
we hadn't talked about and have no, I was going to say authors, no designers for. Koolhaas is Jared Flood.
Cattywampus is...
Bad podcaster.
I'm a bad podcaster.
I'll put it in the show notes.
She used to have a podcast, and it was fabulous, and it was something dark, something knits. But I'll put it in the show notes. I'm terrible. I love that hat, though.
Yeah.
It even looks good inside out, which is how I'm wearing it right now.
Yeah.
So shall we actually start?
Yeah, let's talk about some knitting.
Knitting.
We've got whips. You've got a whip to start, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I have been knitting very monogamously lately. Which you'll see in the finished objects.
Yes.
But so my first whip basically looks like I've done about 4 rows since last time you saw it, which is pretty much right. So this is just some socks, basic vanilla socks. I'm making my own pattern, I guess.
Just a 3x1 rib.
Yeah, it's 3x1 rib with the Sweet Tomato heel by Bordhi.
I love
it. It just looks so bizarre, and it fits me terribly, but it fits her great, and these socks are for her. So that works. And the yarn is Faking Sanity Fixation in the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies colorway, because it looks just kind of gray and white from back here, but up close you see the little specks of purple and green.
And the purple's actually kind of like a reddish purple, almost like dried blood.
Dried blood. and the first thing I said when I saw it was, oh, zombies, but classy zombies.
Yes.
Classy zombies. Are there such a thing? Well, there is, if you've ever read Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, which is the strangest book ever. Yeah. It's basically the words from Pride and Prejudice with added zombie scenes.
Yeah.
It's great. But anyway.
An odd mix.
This is the second sock.
I'm so excited. These are getting really close to
done. I will
done.
actually finish them. And I'm going to have so much yarn left over. I always have so much yarn left over. But Yeah, I might have to figure out something to do with that. But yeah.
Very cool. I'm so excited. They're
In my sheepy bag.
so squishy. I can't wait to wear them. They'll be fabulous this winter. Sheepy bags.
Sheepy bag. Okay.
I've sort of got a whip.
It's totally a whip.
The
You
aforementioned
started it.
3 days of planning meant less knitting time.
She doesn't have it ready. She's so bad.
Do. It's just
she's a bad
brought
podcaster.
all the stuff on the table, so I had to put my stuff on the side.
Oh. Don't mind us.
So this is my whip. Isn't it a lovely sweater?
It is.
I love the color. I love the fabric I'm getting. It's a nice, subtle, variegated tonal. Or nice, subtle tonal. This is the yarn in the ball.
Variegated tonal?
So you can see there's little bits of light gray, but this is what it looks
gray?
like. Or light blue.
I was like, I didn't see any gray.
English isn't my first language.
You cannot use that excuse every time we podcast.
I absolutely can. Watch me.
Because
Le
we have
français, c'est ma première langue. Je m'excuse.
we have issues when it comes to colors, is that we see colors very differently.
Yes.
Like,
But
she said this was blue.
no, I see now. It's kind of a
I'm
tealy
like,
green.
it's not blue. Anyway. And so when she said it's got light gray, I'm like, oh God.
What did
This
she
is
see as
another
light
one?
gray? No, blue.
No,
I
it's
just
light
misspoke.
blue. It's got light
So this
light
is-
blue. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, apparently extra crazy today.
This isn't extra crazy.
This is the yarn in the ball, so you can see a little bit more the lighter against the dark shades. It is Ella Ray Lace Merino DK, which is so soft and like a really decent high twist for a heavier weight yarn. A lot of the heavier weight yarns I find tend to be lighter on the twist, but I really like this one, and it's a DK weight.
But it doesn't really knit up as a DK, does it? Or when you swatched it?
No, this
did
is
it?
pretty much exactly DK.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent. Okay. Because it
And
doesn't look like it.
So I thought I'd try a printed copy. So this is the Aden sweater by Ankestrick on Ravelry, and I think it's classy and it'll look gorgeous in that blue.
And
so,
it'll look so good on you. It suits you.
yeah. So that's my whip. It's just started. I had to swatch a few. I swatched and I washed and blocked the swatch.
Good, because if you have...
Because if that didn't fit, I'd be frustrated.
Yeah, you don't want to knit
So
an
I had
entire
to start
sweater.
over. Like I did a couple of swatches because I didn't have the right needle size at first. But I'm really excited.
Yeah.
So I'll put away my dangly
Jingle
Jingle?
bits.
jingle bits.
Jingle bits.
My jingle
So-
bits sweater.
I'm planning a sweater as well. We decided, well, she was like, I'm going to knit a sweater. And I was like, you know what? I've been meaning to knit this sweater for ages and ages and ages. I'll knit a sweater along with you. So,
We even talked about should we make it we'll knit together a sweater along.
yeah. But, I mean,
It didn't
we
work.
knit at different rates and stuff.
Yes.
But, so my plan was to knit the Knitting Pure and Simple, what's it actually called? Neck down hooded tunic for women. So, really basic hoodie pullover. And I was going to knit it
Love
in
this. yarn.
this. I don't know if it's picking up. It's got,
yeah.
like greens and blues in it.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's pretty much
it
exactly
is
what it looks like.
Dream in Color Classy. It's a little different than their new Classy. Mm-hmm. This was bought about 10 years ago
Yeah.
in Black Parade. Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
It is
It's so
amazing.
gorgeous.
And I've wanted a sweater out of it for ages. But anyway, so last night I knit up I started a swatch and went, okay, I was getting gauge and the fabric looked hideous. Like it was just way too open because I knocked my glasses off. Because this actually says it really should be a medium to heavy worsted weight. And I like quite a dense fabric as well. And this is, I don't know, this is a light-ish fingering weight, worsted weight.
Don't listen to anything she says.
And I just like fabrics quite dense. So I was like, oh, maybe I won't knit a sweater. Because you know what? If I knit the sweater and then I don't like it, I'll be mad. But anyway,
You totally should knit this.
instead
Just change
today,
plans.
I changed plans. And I went looking for another pattern. And the pattern I found is the R&R hoodie by Tennis Levelly, Tennis Fibre Arts.
She's Canadian.
Yes, she's
from
from Montreal. She's not a Montreal girl at all.
Nah.
That's
why my-
and I don't have a picture of it, but it's a hooded cardigan, which I think I like better. Basically about the same.
And you can find it on Ravelry, right?
Yeah, it's on Ravelry. Yeah, totally. You can put, and it goes from like baby sizes to like big. It's great. It's like, I don't have to go,
It's like the Tin Knits ones that start from baby to 6X.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's fabulous. Like, I don't have to go, okay, well, if I knit the biggest size but then extend it, no, I can actually knit a size on it. So
Fabulous.
yay, yeah.
It'll look fabulous in
And
that.
it's got a zipper, which I probably won't do because I do not sew.
Well, and you never, like on your hoodie right now, you never
Yeah,
zip
I
it up.
have this hoodie that is getting kind of ratty. It's just a fleece hoodie. But I wear it every single day.
Tink is staring at me from off camera.
He is! Wow. Okay, here. Turn that way. Look at the pretty yarn. Don't stick your hand in the
better.
plate.
Thanks.
Okay.
Do you ever feel like you're being stared at and it creeps you out?
Especially with his creepy little smile. Okay. Oh, zipper. I do zip it up when I wear it under my winter coat, but that's about the only time. So I figured maybe I'll put a couple toggles on it or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, if I plan to put a zipper in it, I will never put the zipper in and then it'll never be done. So I'm just not going to plan to put a zipper in. But yeah, that's my... Oh, and then my other whip, talking of sweaters...
Yes.
...is
This is
not a sweater...
It used to be a sweater.
It used to be a sweater. So this is the yarn that I used for the only sweater I've ever knit before.
And it was actually done. Like, you wore it.
Oh, yeah. It was, the pattern was Wicked by Rachel Bishop. And I knit it in 2008. And the yarn is Araucania Pomaire Multi in this beautiful blue.
Yeah, we bought that at the same time. I think I got some
No, you
purple.
got yours after when I started knitting.
Because I liked it so much. Yeah.
Anyway, it made a beautiful sweater. I wore it once and never wore it again.
Yeah.
Mainly, no, I was going to say mainly because we came up here and I was at the store and I don't want to bleach it. But no, I had it for 2 years before we came up here.
Yeah.
And I never wore it. So,
Sad.
This last summer, I ripped out the yarn and reconditioned it, and I am crocheting myself just a wrap. No pattern. It's just I can't get it on. Just a half double crochet. And I'm going to go as long as I have yarn, which is going to be pretty long.
But you want a big,
I
like,
do.
wraparound.
I don't know, maybe I've been cold lately, but look at this. I'm just, it's...
You're getting old and frileuse, and there's no English word for that.
Yes, I'm always cold now, apparently. Yeah. This yarn is sticking to me constantly. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
How can you just pick it up and put it down? I hate you.
I'm magic.
You are magic. Yeah. So, yeah, just a wrap. And for those of you who kind of go, oh, I've heard that you should, alternate hand-dyed skeins if you don't want,
pooling, but it's not that big a deal. I won't care.
Yeah, you might. This is just an example of why you might want to do that. This is one skein. This is another, and you can very, very clearly see.
Yeah, actually, you can see it better from the back. Like, I mean, from back here.
Okay.
Like.
Yeah.
The line is distinct, and if that happens in
if that happens like right across
position,
your boobs or something strange, or one sleeve darker than the other, yeah. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm sure you've all heard it, but
but if you don't
this was
mind
a good
that,
example.
It's no big deal. But if you would mind,
sometimes you can plan it in, and then it looks fabulous.
Yeah, like if you do the two lighter skeins are the sleeves of a sweater or something. Yeah.
So that's my other whip.
Yay!
What's your other whip?
I have.
Oh, right!
So I finished. You've seen this before a long time ago, and then I abandoned it and thought I'll come back to it soon, which is usually what happens. It gets abandoned longer than planned. But I have a sock.
Yay!
So the last time you saw this, it had no heel turn.
Because you had screwed it up. I remember that.
Yeah. So it has a heel turn now. So this is one of my just 3x1 vanilla socks. But I did
so much alike in some ways,
and
so different in others.
Yeah. But I did the heel flap on the bottom, so it's just a traditional like top-down heel with a flap and gusset. But I knit it toe up, and then I just started the instruction as though I were knitting it top down. So I did the heel flap on the bottom, then the heel turn, then the gusset along the back here.
And it fits well?
It fits so amazing. I forgot to bring the sock blockers. But if I do this, like, it looks kind of weird, but because my knuckles are a little differently shaped than my foot. But this part is the bottom of your heel, and it is so cushiony with the slip stitch heel on the bottom. And that's...
And it doesn't feel...
No, it feels fabulous.
Oh, I guess I have some socks with ribbing on the bottom, and I quite like them. So.
Yeah, it's so nice. And my heels have been really bothering. I have plantar fasciitis, so extra cushioning there always feels nice. So that's my sock. And I have one. And some people may call one sock of a pair a hoe or a half object. But I've decided it's a PhD, project half done.
Yes.
Because we got in this mug, and I'm working on my PhD, projects half done, with knitting needles and a crochet hook. So I decided,
It's fabulous.
we got it in the day I finished this. So I was like,
So she had to have that
I
one.
have to have this mug,
Yeah.
and I have to call it a PhD.
So I got a mug as well, and it's just one more row, just one more row, just one more row, because that's me.
Yeah, it's why you're up till 2 a.m. knitting.
No, yeah, totally. It is. I mean, it's a coffee mug. I just have Coke in mine, but how's your tea?
Oh, it's really, okay.
She was
I
experimenting.
was trying to decide on a tea and couldn't decide on anything, so I kind of looked at a couple flavors and I was like, I'm just going to blend some. And I mixed like half orange rooibos, which is a really bright orange rooibos, and then lemon myrtle, which is a really bright lemon herbal tea, with Earl Grey tea, which is a black one. And it is so amazing.
It does smell really good.
It's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yes, so we got mugs from Knit Picks. We got a bunch of mugs in for the store.
We
from Knit
did.
Picks, but we had to pick our own mugs.
Yeah.
To keep. So yeah, and we got some other cool stuff from Knit Picks.
Yeah, we probably won't show more of the mugs, but
No,
they're all knitting,
knitting
related mugs,
cool. And we got some project bags that
Yeah.
have the same kind of things on
it's
them.
socks to be you or single socks
Seek same. I really like that one. That one just makes me laugh every time. But we got some Knit Picks has yarn bowls now.
Yeah.
That they've had yarn bowls for a while, but now they're available in their wholesale stuff.
Yeah.
So we were very happy.
I love this. This is the black mango wood.
and it's a good size, and it's got the thing
And a really heavy glaze, so it doesn't feel. I have a problem with wood texture. It's got a really heavy oil and glaze on that one, and so it doesn't
look how
feel
shiny.
like raw wool. Raw wood.
wool.
It shouldn't feel like raw wool.
Shouldn't feel like raw wool.
I'm debating taking the second one of this one home.
Yeah, so we
I already have a yarn bowl.
And it comes in like different colors. The curvy style comes in like 3 different colors.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about those.
Yeah, we got it. The black mango wood, the brown mango wood,
and then a really light one.
and the maple.
Yeah. And do you want me to show this one too? Okay, and then this is the other style, which is just a more
That's
basic wool.
rosewood and brown mango wood.
Yeah, and this one's cool. It's got the 2 colors, and again, really nice size.
Yeah. And that
Yeah,
one comes
it
in a few
doesn't-
too. We got one in rosewood and
Just the 2.
okay, so
the 2 styles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one's
Yeah.
rosewood.
Look at the shine from the window.
Yeah.
But yeah,
They're really
nice. So
Yeah.
we're really excited
And
about
really
them.
good prices, so we're excited. We have a hard time keeping yarn bowls in because there aren't a lot of places to buy them nearby. So we have a few handmade pottery ones from a local potter.
And her stuff
They
sells
sell
so
out
fast.
so fast.
But we just got some new ones. Oh, I'll show this one first.
Yeah.
So first, there's the yarn bucket.
So, and these are like reclaimed wood that she sanded down so fine, so
Yeah.
smooth. And these have like no edges to catch on your yarn.
It's driftwood.
Yeah.
She lives by the river and she grabs driftwood.
Yeah.
But yeah, she does these beautiful.
Beautiful glazes.
Beautiful
And
glazes.
like
Yeah,
they're
inside and
stamped or
out
painted
or-
or whatever, inside and out, not just a plain glaze inside.
Yeah. And yeah, decent size.
Yeah.
I love that one. And then this one we both love. So it's got trees.
She's done mugs
But-
like this before.
It's got a little bear.
If you follow us on Instagram, you've seen this one before.
I can't hold it steady.
You have.
I got it.
Oh yeah, there you go. It's a
Little
little.
bear sitting on the and he's nice and smooth. You won't catch your yarn on him because your
Yeah,
yarn
he's
would
on
be
the
hanging
opposite
up
side, but he's
Yeah.
really smooth.
here. Yeah.
She's a beautiful potter, and they're so thin and so light. Like
They're fabulous. She is an amazing potter.
Yeah. If you're in the area, they're made by Marilyn Farrow, who's River's Edge Pottery. Sorry.
River's Edge Clay Works.
River's Edge Clay
Yeah,
Works.
we're both like River City. No, not River City.
Not River City. That's yarn.
Yeah.
But
So,
we
yeah.
love Marilyn's pottery.
Yes.
So.
And then...
I forgot to turn off notifications.
Oh, it's no big deal. Just ignore it.
Sorry.
And we actually have some other yarn bowls in right now, too, from another local guy. He makes these himself, and they're really nice. They're glazed a little less than those, but they're really smooth.
Yeah.
And all sorts of different styles. His just have the hole for your yarn.
Yeah, and some have none at all, but they're just much deeper, so
Yes,
the
so
yarn
you can
sits in completely.
So yeah, like if you did want to go through the hole, you'd have to keep your yarn in here for your whole project. But I mean, lots of people do.
A lot of people like that for home projects because then it's not like even if your cat attacks it, it's not going to come
anywhere.
out.
Yeah, yeah, and they're really nice. He has all sorts of different ones. Sometimes he like works on making the grain of the wood, do designs and stuff. Some it's just the different kinds of woods.
Yeah.
I love them. I kind of really like this one.
You bought one, didn't you?
No,
that was
no.
one of the striped ones.
No. This specific bowl will be my...
Oh, that's the one you're...
It's my incentive to clean up all my crap.
Once you have space for a yarn bowl, you'll get a yarn bowl.
Yeah, I have one of Marilyn's yarn bowls, but you know, you can always have two. And I really like this one.
It's beautiful.
So if it's still here once I've cleaned up my sty of a room,
that's kind of
it'll
what
be
I was
my-
thinking with the
yeah.
black mango wood.
Set yourself a goal.
I'm going to set myself a goal, and if it hasn't sold by the time I accomplish said goal, I haven't decided quite yet
what it is going to be. Well, and the other thing he makes is yarn caddies, which are really cool.
These are sometimes called yarn butlers or yarn caddies.
I don't have a ball of yarn. Well,
here.
Yeah, I don't have a ball of yarn that'll go on it. But you don't have. There is none. It's fine.
There is.
Okay. Anyway, it's just you can put
commercial cakes.
Yeah, like this.
Or center pull balls, and you just
and
put
then
them
just pull
through
from the outside, and
pull.
it. Woo,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Boob shot. Didn't intend that. Just realized where I was in the frame.
That's fine.
But yeah, they're
it
really
just spins. It's just got like a Lazy Susan mechanism.
Yeah.
Whatever. In it.
A couple of bearings that spin on a plate.
It's cool. Yeah, we really like those.
Yeah, we just have the one left right now, but we'll probably get some more in. But
Yeah.
we got in lots of new stuff for the shop this week.
It's
So
been fun.
It has.
We always love getting in new stuff.
It's like shopping without the guilt.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
The funny thing is, I hate shopping, but I love getting packages for the store
Yes.
because I haven't had to, I didn't have to go out and shop and it arrives.
just
It's
arrives.
fabulous.
Woo.
We have a lovely mail lady
no.
and a lovely mail guy,
Yeah.
and they're both excited when they have parcels for us because
Yeah.
they mock
They
us
like
about
us.
how excited we are. And
They
then,
like us because they say most of the people we deliver to aren't this excited about seeing us, and we're like, oh, mail. So yeah, it's fun. What's the next thing on our list?
No, before I have to put away my sock.
Okay.
You know what? I didn't mention. A lot of people ask about what cast-offs you do for toe-up socks.
Yeah.
I did Jenny Surprisingly Stretchy Bind-Off.
I love that one.
Okay, a lot of people hate how much it flares. And it does flare a bit,
But just
when
when
you're
it's-
not wearing
yeah.
it. But I think when I started doing this one, it flared tons. Like, it would go out about an inch.
Because you tried to do it too
And
loose.
I was going to say, what I found is, because for years I had taught myself to bind off as loosely as possible.
Yeah.
And with this one, you need to consciously just knit the
normal.
same
Yeah,
on your
I've got
bind off.
that's the same.
So, and if you accomplish, don't make it any looser than you have been.
Yeah.
It doesn't flare at all. Like, that's
Well, I
hers.
mean, it flares a tiny bit.
The tiniest bit.
yeah.
I still had a hard
And
time
and
with that. It flares a little.
Like, it
but on the
stretches
leg, it fits perfectly.
tons.
Yeah, and it does.
Yeah, it's
And
fabulous.
it looks totally normal on. So
Yeah, I really like that bind off. I've done a few like
like it-
knitted one
I
or
like it-
sewn ones and stuff.
yeah. I don't like the sewn ones, but I really like this
I don't
one.
mind that, but I do really like this one. Yeah.
Yeah, because the only time it looks weird is when you're showing it on a podcast.
Yeah. Or when it's sitting in your drawer. But
Yeah. And it's sitting in my bag
Your
that
pretty
was made by
bag from Liz.
Liz.
Yeah, who we surprised last weekend or last podcast when we were like, "Oh, Liz, come to Madrona with us." And now, and she was like, she was very surprised.
She was.
But then she was like, oh, maybe I should. And now there's like, now Kate might come with us. So
she came into the store the other day and she's like, so maybe we could meet Kate halfway and then go down the rest of the way together.
So this might actually happen. We'll see.
It would be exciting. When I was thinking of it at first, I was like, it's kind of a pie in the sky hope.
It is,
and maybe we could do it next year, but most likely not. Maybe in a year or two, and then.
Except all of our plans we're always like, oh yeah, we should do this in a couple years, and then we buy a store in like a month.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we were looking at the dates again a couple of weeks ago.
Ridiculous.
And it was like, it was ridiculous
It
how
was
fast
really
we
fast.
did this.
Yeah.
Not
having
wise. It worked out well for us, but I wouldn't recommend it.
We did a lot of planning, wall painting walls, and yeah, it was terrible because we had been in the building once.
Yeah.
So, and we were living down in Calgary. So when it all kind of came together, I was like, Mom, can you go take some pictures? And then we're like trying to figure out dimensions from like pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah.
And I
She's not good at
a very detailed person. I want exact measurements and I don't want to plan for 4 bookshelves if it's a half an inch too tight or whatever. And
whereas I can go, I think this many will fit there. And she's like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, no, this many will fit there.
We just about killed each other for medals.
Yeah. But
if
now
you do
it's been
if you do it at a slower pace, you can measure for the anal retentive one.
Yes.
And then buy the stuff for the let's go with the flow one. And you don't kill each other.
Yeah. So, it works. It's been 7.5 years and we haven't killed each other.
Yeah.
And now we have plans for changes. Well,
Well,
anyway.
extra stuff.
Yeah.
We've been excited because we've been
yarn.
looking at extra yarns to bring in.
Yeah.
We've figured out a way to squeeze some more yarns in, so we're going to get in more. And so we've been testing out new stuff. And
Yes.
that's fun.
We're ordering some new
Got a
stuff.
mascot.
So
who's not staring at me creepily anymore. He's just sitting there.
He's like staring at the yarn. He really wants something out of that
very
yarn.
intent on the yarn, yeah.
She has her list, so we can just check.
We did bifurcate off the road there a little
Bifurcate.
bit. Yeah. Is that a word in English,
no,
or did I take a French word?
I mean, it is a word,
but it doesn't mean the
but
same.
I don't think it quite
like
works.
forked off the road that you meant.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's the fancy schmancy way of saying that.
Oh, well, I'm fancy schmancy.
Yeah, sure you are. Okay, where were we? Oh, spinning.
I finished some spinning.
Oh.
And I have a spinning.
I showed off that last time.
Nope.
Okay.
I showed it on the bobbin.
Oh.
So speaking of showing stuff on the bobbin, you might guess this is going to be Haunui again, New Zealand halfbred.
That's all she's been spinning lately.
I know, and it's not.
No, that's
the
not
only
true.
thing
You
I
did the
have.
Corriedale.
That's true.
Was it Corriedale?
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know. Is some sheepy.
This is the fine Haunui. It's the opera colorway, dyed over the dark gray natural base. So it's got kind of plums and wines and greens. You can't see all the colors on the bobbin there, but that's a pretty good representation of the color. And I'm spinning this one's thicker. It was supposed to be a really fast spin, so it'll be about a 2-ply, like heavy DK to worsted weight.
It's nice.
Yeah, I really like it. I wanted a quick spin before I started a big project, but then I did one bobbin and started a big project.
Wow.
But I'm hoping to finish this one this week. I haven't started the second bobbin yet, but
you will.
It's a pretty fast one, so it depends how enamored I get with my current new project and my plans, which I'll talk about in a minute. But this was the one I finished. It's the New Zealand halfbred. This is the medium Haunui mixed with 30% silk. It's Tussah silk, and it is amazing. Like, look at the shine. Tussah silk isn't as shiny as mulberry or bombyx silk, but it's a little more rustic. But look at that. Even with just Tussah silk in there, it's just beautiful.
So nice. I keep trying to steal it.
Yeah, she literally walked away with it at knit night, and I was like, nah.
That's all right. She's gonna knit something from this one.
I am. This
Not
is
sure
going to be
what.
something for me, and it's a gradient.
Yeah.
So I think I had mentioned that before, but you can kind of see the gradient. Here goes. This is the natural color of the fleece. It's not dyed at all, and then it goes into a lightly dyed over in red, and then this dark ruby at the end. And it's going to be a shawl, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's going to be a shawl, and I'm going to love it, and it's going to feel so amazing.
You'll have like 2 hand spun and hand knit shawls.
I'm wearing my shawl that I finished. I wove in all the ends. See, nothing hanging out this week.
Good job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This was and this fiber is the Haunui is from Heavenly Wools, from Kate, from Heavenly Wools, and her stuff is fabulous. She has an Etsy shop called Heavenly Wools, and you should check out her stuff. It's fabulous. I talk about her a lot, so you'll surely hear about her again.
And she's in New Zealand.
Yeah, and this is more Haunui from her shop, in the natural gray undyed, the natural black undyed, and the sapphire colorway dyed over the gray base. This one here.
It's lovely.
And the pattern was...
I love dyeing over a colored base.
Her colors are so rich because of it.
Well, it's like I did that. I had some Cascade Echo in a light gray, and I dyed over it and made this beautiful heather without, really having to work very hard at getting a good color. Because I'm not a dyer.
Speaking of which...
dyeing. Yeah. We're skipping, but that's fine.
Well, no, because you already did your leg warmers.
No, I didn't. I just showed the top of it.
Oh.
No, talk about your dyeing. It's fine.
Okay.
She died.
I died this weekend. Ow.
Yeah.
Bony.
Yeah, your head hurts.
Surprisingly bony shoulders.
Yeah, they really surprisingly, because really, there's lots
They
of
look
padding.
rounded. They're not.
Yeah.
They're bony.
No, you just hit the bad spot. There's lots of fluff.
She's trying to injure me on the podcast.
There's lots of fluff here.
We had a gentleman come in from Calgary who was looking for some fiber in a specific color for a project he was planning, and he's like, is there anywhere in town to buy that? And I was like, I don't think so, but if you don't mind getting it for me, like I buy lots of fiber because I spin for the store as well, and so I do have some green carded BFL, and I have some undyed Merino, so I could dye that up for you. And he's like, I'll take both. So
Yeah, he was thrilled.
yeah, he was. I think he's up here for a couple of weeks, so he was thrilled to have a project to work on.
I love the guys who are like working on the oil patch and have their knitting
Or crocheting. Yeah,
it's
there are quite a few lately. Yeah. But yeah, so I did some dyeing. I can't show you the FO of the dyeing because it is still damp and hanging in the bathroom.
Our bathroom smells like vinegar.
Well, no, it smells more sheepy.
Yeah, actually, it smells quite sheepy.
It did smell, the whole house smelled of vinegar last night because I was out of citric acid, so I dyed with vinegar again, which is how I had started.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Like, it turned out really well. The color, I think he'll be really pleased with,
Yeah,
so.
it looked great. It was bright lime green.
Yeah.
And,
for one of his kids, he was going to do a hat.
Yeah, and she might be doing some other dyeing too.
Yeah,
maybe.
I pulled out all my dyeing stuff to do this, and then I found I still had lots of stock from when I used to dye for our Etsy shop, and like 15 kilos of this beautiful wool silk lace weight, and it takes the dye beautifully, and it's just wonderful. So I might dye some of that up for the shop again. That's not short term. Don't ask for it this week. It's not happening.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start maybe looking at, getting a skein winder that can handle
staining. Or, putting me to work.
Or putting you to work.
I've offered.
Yeah. But it's a long-term thing. But I'm excited. It was fun last night. So.
Well, yeah, and especially like if we got some skeins ready for Easter weekend, do some dyeing on the long weekend.
Yeah. Well, and if I bring it here, we have a much bigger kitchen here than our apartment.
We have an apartment with a very much apartment-sized kitchen.
When we dyed before in Calgary, we had it was a house-size kitchen. It was a full-size kitchen. It wasn't quite laid out like a house-size kitchen, but it was huge.
Yeah.
So it was easy to dye in there.
Yeah.
This apartment is not
dye
so
here
much
at the
fun.
store.
Yeah.
Dye. Sorry. Okay, so I should go on to my lucky dip.
Yeah, since we talked about.
So you guys saw this hat last week. It was what I pulled out of my Whip Lucky Dip. It is Dream in Color Classy in the In Vino Veritas color. I love it. I actually bought enough of this yarn to knit a sweater many, many years ago, and didn't. So I've made a few different projects.
I was going to say, but it's a nice color for small projects too. Like
beautiful.
It looks good on you.
I didn't even notice until I put it up to the camera that it kind of got a stripy effect there.
Yeah, the purple is pretty regular.
Yeah, so it is the, what's it called? Barley by Tin Can Knits. So it's got the...
And you did it slouchy, right? Like you made it a little longer?
I did, but then also this yarn stretched amazingly. So it was supposed to be like, well, it would fit someone with a big head,
Or a tiny bit slouchy. On
Or a
this
tiny
one.
bit slouchy. It is massively slouchy.
Not as much as you think.
Okay.
But it looks
Quite
really
slouchy.
nice.
But it actually, it looks kind of neat as a slouchy hat. Oopsie, I lost the garter. There it is. Yeah.
Are you going to
like
keep
it.
that one?
I don't know.
Give it away as a gift?
I don't know.
or-
We'll see. It
It
looks good on me.
It does.
I have so many hats though, but I really like hats, so maybe I will keep it.
You could give it to Tink.
I don't think it would fit. He's got a big head. Oh.
He does have a big head.
Okay. So, normally at the
Didn't
this
know
point,
sloths were
jeez.
egotistical.
Yeah.
Self-centered sloths.
Normally at this point I would pull a new thing from my Whip Lucky Dip, but I'm going to take a break from the Whip Lucky Dip because I've actually gotten quite a few things done. Thank you very much.
You have. It's been a good impetus
It's
to
gonna
finish
been
these.
It guilts me into getting them done.
Guilt is a
Just
fabulous motivator.
But I have a plan. So what I'm gonna do, besides the sweater I'm gonna work on, and something else we're gonna talk about later, I'm going to do, I can't even think of what it's called, but a lot of people I've heard refer to it as like the brown bag projects
or a stash mystery.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plan a bunch of projects, like pick a yarn and pattern that I like together, and then make a like a brown bag basically for enough to fill out the end of the year. And then every 2 weeks on the podcast, I will pull one and hopefully get it done.
Oh, you're not even giving yourself a month per project for
It's
them?
4 weeks.
Yeah.
It's 4 weeks. You were thinking 2 weeks, weren't you?
I was, but
Yeah,
but
because
still.
we don't do this every week.
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks. Yeah, so 4 weeks. And I mean, most of them will be hats.
Oh, okay.
You know me.
Because if you're working on a sweater, that's a pretty big.
I know, but I get bored if I knit the same thing
Yeah.
for...
So you'll alternate between.
I'm not good at
kinda two main
monogamous knitting.
projects.
Yeah, or 3 or 4. But most of them are going to be hats.
When it gets to the 4, that's when they'll
Yeah.
be whips instead of FOs.
Yeah. And sometimes, like if some take me too long or whatever, I'll just keep it in my whips and finish it eventually. But yeah.
And it'll show up in the Whip Lucky Dip again when you go back
Exactly,
to
when
that.
I go back to that. So I'm going to do that.
It's a really good idea.
It's just because I was digging through my stash for something, and I was like, oh my god, I have so much yarn.
And
like,
stuff you love and would
and
love
stuff
to
I
knit with.
love, and I just never think of it when I'm like, okay, what am I going to start? I tend to come here and grab more yarn. So I'm going to knit with some of my yarn.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that. Yeah, they're mainly going to be small projects, hats, maybe socks or mitts. Mitts, I like mitts.
Mitts, cows, hats are fast.
Yeah, yeah. So from all my pretty stash acquisitions that I've shown over the, how long have we been doing this? Little while.
Since, last summer.
Yeah. Yeah, so you'll get to see some of my new stuff rather than some of my old stuff.
New projects, old stash.
Yeah.
Just switching old
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. Mainly old stash. I might. No, I'm going to try to do stuff from my stash.
You just said you were doing this to use up stash. You're not
I
taking
know,
new stash.
but I really want to knit one more thing with the fixation.
Yeah.
And also, we have some stuff coming that we want to knit with to see if we want to order into the store. And so I might, like, plan a pattern for one of those yarns that's coming and then put it in the brown bag when it comes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should bring out your leg warmers again.
Oh, okay, yeah, so I kind of showed the top. So this is what I've been monogamous knitting on.
Yeah. This is your
Because
FO.
I just needed to get them done. So, they are thigh-high leg warmers. And look, there's 2 of them!
And they're the same length.
They're the same length and everything.
And the recipient saw one,
Oh, yeah.
tried it on, it fit, and
So
she loved it.
when the first one was up to about, like, here, I just threw it on long needles. She came in, and I said, okay, try it on. And it's so funny, because when I hold them, I'm quite short. They go
Quite.
from my ankles up to, like, my crotch. Excuse the word. The crease.
Your inseam.
My inseam?
Your inseam is much shorter than hers.
Yes, she's very tall. So anyway, yeah, this...
5'7".
Is she? Oh, she feels really tall.
Maybe
to me.
5'8".
That's only like 4 inches taller than me, but it feels...
But she's got longer legs
well,
than you.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I have a longer torso and short legs.
Yeah.
You can tell
which
because
is why-
I'm taller than her, and you can't tell when
Yeah,
we're
we
sitting.
look the same height, and she's like 3 inches taller than me. 2 inches.
No.
2 or 3.
Anyway,
Yeah, so I finished
leg
them.
warmers.
The pattern is Nozky, Nozky, or Nozky, by Monica Sims. Nope, sorry, Monica. I can't read my own writing. Monica Cerna, and it's on Knitty, and it's actually it calls for a DK yarn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I'm using Cascade Echo,
Which is not a DK.
which is not a DK. It's
Like Aran to bulky. They call it
they
Aran.
call it bulky, and I basically knit it to an Aran gauge.
Yeah.
But I love this yarn. It's fabulous. I just finished them last night. I wove in the ends. I really do love that cast off. And I wove in the ends and everything, but I haven't blocked them yet. So, but it's a good yarn. I know pretty much how it.
Yeah, you've
reacts.
used this a lot,
yeah.
so you know exactly how much it'll grow when you block it.
Yeah. So I just kind of knit a gauge swatch and then picked a size that worked for my gauge. And yeah, it worked great. I quite like the pattern. If I wore leg
looks
warmers,
nice
I
on,
would
too.
knit some for myself. But I tend to wear jeans that are straight-legged or boot cut, and they'd look really funny with leg warmers over them.
I told her she should just knit like long underwear or long
Oh
johns
my
or something
goodness.
to wear under them instead.
Long underwear out of Cascade Echo, I would just
Knit them out
oh,
of sock yarn.
that would take forever. I had plans at one point to knit for a friend who was getting married. I was going to knit her thigh-high lace stockings.
Yeah. I remember those.
They
I
didn't
ran
get
across
married.
The patterns the other day.
They didn't get married then because things just didn't happen.
Yeah, they just postponed the wedding for like a year, but by then we had
Moved
kind
up
of
here,
here,
and I
so.
just didn't have the time anymore. But yeah, so we talked about that. Your
Yeah,
dying.
I didn't
was
have
your
FOs because I just died this weekend.
I just died.
just
You had
died.
a spinning FO and a dyeing FO.
Yes,
So you had FOs
I guess.
and a one sock.
And a one sock. Project's half done.
She's
PhD.
never gonna do the other one.
I am. I just have to find the project bag with the rest of the yarn and the other sock.
Because she had actually started knitting a sock out of this yarn.
Yes, I was knitting a different pattern, didn't love it, set it aside, came back to it, and in the meantime, my preference for how much negative ease I like changed quite drastically. I used to like about 30% negative ease, and now I like about 10, which is more normal.
Yeah. She used to
So I
knit
wanted
toe armor.
I wanted to change the whole sock, like tear it out. So I did, and I finished the first one, and I love it, and it fits wonderfully.
So now you have to do the second one.
But I think I am a little distracted by the Aden sweater that I started, and the spinning I'm doing, and also some of you watched the Cozy Up with the Stitchin' Sisters podcast.
Most of you.
And they just released the Katie shawl this weekend. And
Is it this weekend? No, it was
no,
like
it was
last
like
weekend.
the 14th, so just before
Oh, yeah.
the weekend.
Last Tuesday.
But
It's great.
I love it. It's beautiful, and
I'm not usually one for. I've kind of given up on triangular shawls because I can't wear them, but because it's kind of
the asymmetrical.
and and I love the garter and
Yeah.
very good pattern.
Yeah.
So
We're
both gonna
wanna
knit it. Amazing. We don't usually. Actually, I say that, but then we've knit the same things quite often.
Yeah.
Like waiting for rain and.
That's true. More recently. I think it's just
Barbies.
when we first started knitting, I was all about the lace.
And I like
and I
lace,
knit
but I
like
don't.
lace weight, lacy shawls.
Lace weight.
And you did more like the chunky
Smells kinda-
cabled stuff. And,
No, I didn't used to do chunky.
Or socks and scarves and
Didn't do
shawls,
socks.
but
I don't know.
I did.
I don't know what I knit. I knit a lot of hats.
Yeah.
Hats are great.
I did lacy shawls and socks.
I've knit lots of lacy shawls. I just don't wear them.
Yeah.
So more of them will get ripped out at some point. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna knit the Katie shawl.
We're gonna knit the Katie shawl. So I'm debating. I really want to do. I have two plans, and I have ideas for others. But initially, what I was thinking is I would take our muffin boxes that we made with the 6-color pack of Fixation and one main color, and do that, and use the extra, like the 6 color in the yarn pack that matches the main
extra.
skein
Yeah.
to give a bit more yardage there. But then somebody posted on their knit along thread for the Katie shawl the exact same one that they're knitting it out of, and I was like, well, we could be like shawl twinnies, but
or I could just choose something else. Because I have lots of yarn that I love.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking now I might do, somebody mentioned like a black with a rainbow for each of the little sections.
I'm a sucker for rainbows.
And I love black against bright colors.
Yeah, black
and
and
I don't have any rainbow yarn right now, but I do have some other bright colors that I really like. So I'm thinking I'm going to do the Katie shawl in black with either this, which is the Fixation yarn in the What's Eating Gilbert Grape, or this, which is the Fixation yarn in the Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit against black. And I
suggested
love
this.
on its own.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid it's too dark in the darkest parts
It
with
might
the black.
be, but I think this would just
this
pop.
would be amazing
I think
next
so
to the
too.
black. So I'm leaning towards this one.
But I'm also not sure how variegated it'll end up in. Like,
But
I think it won't matter.
even if it does, orange
think
to
it'll look
pink
great.
against the black will be high enough
Yeah.
contrast that it won't matter
will
at
look
all.
lovely.
So I think this is the way I'm
Yeah.
going. So what about you?
I don't know. I was going to knit it out of Fixation, and we were just going to hack the pattern a little because the yardage is a bit short. But
it's plumper, so it'll be bigger.
really big.
Like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
it'll be
knit it
huge.
at a bigger needle gauge and get the width with less
oh
stitches.
yeah.
So.
But then I was thinking I didn't bring it. I have a gradient set. Well, kind of gradient. It goes from blue through purple to red to orange.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is.
It's by Nikki Slipp, who has an Etsy shop. And she does these beautiful things. And I've had it for a couple years now and haven't knit anything out of it. Because I keep going, oh, that would be the perfect pattern for it. Oh, but this would be the perfect... I don't know. I can't decide. So I think it would look really good. It's actually 6 colors, but the orange isn't necessarily my favorite, so I could just leave it out.
Just use the 5 with the main color.
Use the 5 that I love. And I found a gray, well, kind of silvery gray tree wool from Fleece Artist. And we have an order coming from Fleece Artist sometime soon, so I could add that to it. And
You know what? I also have some Merino tencel or Merino tree wool in now that you say silvery gray.
well, see, I had it before.
Yeah.
Well, no, I had bought it from the store and taken it home, and then I was like, no, and I brought it back, and because I do that every once in a while. It sits there for a night, and then I go, I really shouldn't, and I bring it back.
You should check out the one I have just in case.
Well, yeah, okay.
I hadn't thought of that. But yeah, if not, we order from Fleece Artists quite often. It's one of
Yeah.
our regular
And
yarn suppliers.
yeah, it's beautiful, and because the gradient set is a merino silk, and the merino tencel would be lovely.
And
with
they
it.
drape pretty similarly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, that would be really nice.
It would feel really nice too.
Or I'm just gonna look through my stash because I have so much yarn, and I have a really bright. Actually, we saw it on the podcast a little while ago. It's a blue and green. No, I got rid of it. Yeah, never mind.
Oh, yep.
I gave it as a prize. I was like, we each had a skein, and it was
Ancient
your
Arts,
skein.
yeah.
It was the Ancient Arts. Okay. But yeah, I have lots and lots of yarn.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go through my stash and figure out what I want to do. But we're both going to knit that.
Yeah.
And both knit shawls, and I'm going to knit other things. So I don't know what I'm planning.
So we're both going to knit the same shawl and both knit a sweater.
Yeah.
That's
and
weird.
it'll take us forever. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Okay.
I think that's it for
Knitting?
knitting. Oh, I've got some stash. Do you have some
Oh,
stash?
no, I don't have any stash acquisition.
We've ordered some stuff for the store, as we've mentioned.
for us.
But one of the things we ordered, it's kind of for the store in that I got some fiber, which I'll be spinning for the shop
Yes.
and for the store. So I got some Malabrigo Nube, and this is the Potion colorway.
It is so cool. It's got like every color.
Yeah, it's
every darky
mainly
color.
blues and greens, but
Yeah.
it's got pops of like the orange and rust and pink.
And there was
there's like this lime green.
Yeah.
And bright pink
I cannot
corals.
wait to see how it looks when you spin.
It's
going to
be fabulous.
It's going to be great. Like we've had the yarn.
Yeah.
Potion.
Potion.
In before, but I mean, it looks different at different weights. It looks different when it's hand spun.
Yeah. Well, and yeah.
And how you apply it.
I
and-
have never spun one of these
That you didn't.
that I didn't like the result of.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, the first time I spun it, I hated the spin.
Yeah.
And a lot of people complain about the Nube that it's very compacted. And it is, but it's not felted at all. So here's a trick. If you've tried Nube and didn't enjoy it, take a tea kettle while it's boiling, not one with an emergency shut-off feature, but while it's boiling, if this is the spout here, hold your fiber.
Okay.
You like unbraid it and hold the single strand of fiber over the spout like this close for about 3 to 5 seconds. Hold it so that the steam isn't rolling up against your hands, or wear rubber gloves or something.
Yeah.
And like 3 to 5 seconds like that, flip it over 3 to 5 seconds. And I go about this speed all the way through the braid. It takes about 5 minutes, maybe 10 if I go a little slower. And the fiber goes from a tube this size to like a tube this size, and it is a dream to spin.
Yeah, I love the stuff that you knit.
Yeah.
Or you spun for me.
Yeah. And it's a dream to spin when you do that first. And I've started doing that with any fiber that, like some fibers I've had for 7 years stuck in bins because we moved and then they got packed and not unpacked. And they've gotten compacted over the years, but it just does wonders. And it's getting harder to find the tea kettles without the emergency shut off.
But you could do that with
I might just get a camping one, like a stovetop one.
I was gonna say, couldn't you just do it with a pot that has the lid with the hole?
Oh yeah, but that's way too small. Like,
okay. Or just set the lid off to the off the side of it.
Yeah, and you could do it in a steam bath if you had one, which I don't. But
is a steam bath one of those ones where you like stick your face in it and like steam your face?
No, I was thinking like a steamer
bath.
tray. Like
put
water in the bottom, and then it's got like a bain-marie.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, anything where you can get a lot of steam in a small area that is about the size of your braid or the individual strand, it's fabulous. It makes such a difference. And I know some of our new viewers are spinners. Sorry, I'm just grabbing more tea. Some of our new watchers are spinners because somebody posted some spinning on our group.
On the knit along. Make along, which has been crazy.
It's been insane.
We talked about it last week or last podcast.
Yeah,
too,
but we're up over 140 kilometers. Kilometers.
Kilometers.
I don't know where that came from. Kilometers.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. And we've got some spinning in there now too, and knitting
and tons of knitting. Some people knit so fast, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed with people.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I'm not a big person.
You know what? I'm a decently fast knitter. Like not, crazy or anything, but I just don't have that much time. I mean, I'd love more time to knit.
Yeah.
But
I'm just a slow knitter. And I split it with spinning.
And all that other stuff. Yeah. And, we have a business, so we don't have extra time. But
yeah, it's been a fun week.
good.
And I'm excited
been a very
to
good
spin
week.
this.
Okay, so spinning content, Fiverr content is over. So if you want to leave us. But now we're going to talk about culture consumed.
Yeah.
Which has been Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Skeleton is crazy.
I haven't knit. Oh my goodness. I haven't watched quite as much Olympics as you.
It's what I've been watching while I've been knitting and spinning. Yeah.
Skeleton is nuts. I don't know if you guys watch the Winter Olympics. I cannot talk today.
Both of us.
Winter Olympics, but there's some crazy.
Yeah, I love the sliding sport. Like I've always
sliding
watched
sports,
bobsled and luge. Yeah. And luge I found a little crazy, and skeleton I thought, luge head first is even scarier. But okay, so one of the things I had noticed, one of the announcers I was watching the men's skeleton, and one of the announcers was talking about how the sleds are made, either they have a lot of rock in the bottom, not blades because they're not blades, but the
things.
The metal pieces.
The things. You know
what
we
mean.
The
sliders.
The things that go under the sled.
The things that would be blades if they were sharp, but they're not sharpened for this. Anyway, he was talking about they can be pretty flat and you have more control because more of it touches the ice, or curved, and so the sled can rock.
Yeah.
So you have less control, but it's faster. And so he was talking about the rock and how you can hear the sled clatter, and that's because it has more rock. And then the other guy goes on the next run was like, oh, and this sled, really you can hear the clatter. And the guy who had been a skeleton driver was like, oh no, that's not the sled, that's his chin hitting the ice. And it was like, and he was like, isn't it a problem with concussions? And he was like, well, you know, we didn't call it that when I was sliding. We just called it sled brain.
Sled head.
Sled head. And I was like, ah. So they're like, he was like, yeah, it's pretty normal for people. Basically, now we know we were concussing ourselves on a daily basis when racing.
That's just terrifying.
Yeah, terrifying. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I don't know if I can watch more of the skeleton.
It always kind of scares me because it's somebody sliding headfirst down a very fast track.
But at the same time, like, they can see what's coming.
Yeah, but still.
Oh, yeah, that was scary to find out. No, they're like at 100, and these guys are going, so at the top of the track, they're going about 75 kilometers an hour. At the bottom, they were hitting like 125 to 131. Oh. And you could hear this of their chin hitting the ice that fast.
It's amazing athletes, but that's terrifying.
Yeah. And yes, they're wearing helmets, but you're still sloshing your brain around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What else have you been watching? I cut some curling because my mom watches all the curling.
I actually watched...
Yay, Canada!
Yeah.
Curling doubles?
Yeah.
Mixed doubles?
My favorite so far has been the slope style.
Yeah.
There's I watched the men's and the women's slope style.
The ski slope style or the
snowboarding?
slope?
And then yesterday there was ski slope style, so I'll be watching that tonight.
Mm-hmm. So. I've mainly been watching women's hockey.
Yeah.
I actually haven't been watching a ton of Olympics. I've been watching some like highlights and stuff, but I watched the game Canada versus the Olympic athletes from Russia. Mm-hmm. Because you can't say Canada versus Russia.
Did you watch the Czech game yesterday?
No, I was watching Canada versus Finland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't play Czech.
I think it was maybe the men's team was playing.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of the men's
the Czech
yet.
Republic.
I've got to. Because it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to see some of the other... I haven't watched the Canada-US one yet, and I love a lot of the US players. Just they're on the US, so, you know, I can't cheer for them right now. Like Hillary Knight and Amanda Kessel and stuff. And I was so impressed. I was watching the hockey. So normally when we watch women's hockey, we have a little drinking game, even though we don't actually drink alcohol all that much, but... You know,
Cindy has
have
her
our little
bottle of
drinking
Coca-Cola.
game. Yeah, whatever. We eat a chocolate or something. Every time the announcers are like, and, you know, this person is the sister of you know, NHL athlete.
Or niece of, or daughter of.
And it's usually constant.
Yeah.
And
like, these players can be, like,
they're
these women are playing at a
amazing.
higher level than their brothers.
Yes.
And they still reference them as so-and-so's sister instead of just Amanda Kessel. Or
So that's why I usually refer to Phil Kessel as Amanda's brother. But so I was watching the first Canadian game, and like the one announcer started off with so-and-so is the great-grandniece of King Clancy, who one of the big trophies is named after. He was a, you know, Hall of Famer from many years ago.
Many moons ago.
Well, obviously, it's like great-great-granddaughter or great-granddaughter or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's going to be like that. And then they were really, really good. It took them a whole 10 minutes to mention that, you know, Sarah Nurse
is Darnell
Nurse's cousin. But they also said, and like, they said basically she comes from a athletic family. You know, Darnell Nurse of the Oilers is her cousin. And I think it was Tia Nurse, her either cousin or sister, plays for college basketball team. And I was like, okay, they're doing pretty good. Plus, so the announcer, normally it's like two male announcers and Cassie Campbell Pascal down on the ice level. Mm-hmm. And for all the games I've watched so far, it's been a guy, I can't remember his name, doing the announcing, and Cassie Campbell...
play-by-play.
Yeah, play-by-play, thanks. Play-by-play, and Cassie Campbell Pascal doing color commentary.
She'd be
which is
really
good, and
at
she's
color commentary.
fabulous. Well, especially since, like, she played with a lot of these women.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, yeah, I decided to retire when this fabulous girl that I coached when she was 9 was on the Olympic team with me in whatever it was, like 2006 or something like that.
Yeah.
She's like, I decided I was old enough then. And the Canadian women's team is fabulous. I love women's hockey.
Yeah, especially like Canada and the US are both amazing women's hockey teams, and there's a rivalry, but there's also because they play together constantly, we get to see.
Yeah, and like there's friends on the other teams and stuff, or you know, sometimes more than friends, because the old captain of the U.S. team, Julie Chu, is married to Carolyn Ouellette, who I think actually was captain of the Canadian team last Olympics.
Yes.
Because it wasn't Wickenheiser. Anyway, and Haley Wickenheiser is like my favorite hockey player ever. Sorry, there's a dust
yarn fluff.
thingy. There's fluff. Yes, but she's not playing. So my favorite player in this Olympics is Shannon Zabados. Goalies for the win, and it's so good.
And Nura
Ratu. Well, okay,
Ratu.
her name is spelled Raty, but they kept saying Ratu, so I'm not sure. But yeah, so I'm watching Canada versus Finland right now. I'm like in the last period of it, and so it's Zabados versus Ratu, and they're both
amazing.
They're both fabulous. And okay, the Finnish team, I love it. At Sochi, basically they had a knitting project. They were doing the scarf, and the Finnish team, like not just the hockey team, but all of Team Finland,
The Olympic team.
yeah, was passing around the scarf, and they were all knitting on it. So they'd have it done by the end of the Olympics. And it's so funny, like you see like snowboarders and their coaches are standing up at the top of the hill knitting.
Yeah.
I love that. Because I believe most of them learn it in school.
Well, I know in Norway they do, because I was watching on Skandir Knits. She actually mentions that there are a couple of grades that you're taught to knit in or have a project to do in knitting as part of school.
Cool.
Yeah.
So if you're from, I
don't know about
anywhere,
the other, like Finland or Sweden or any
I know
of the
we
other.
have. Do we have a watcher from Sweden? We have someone who bought yarn from us from Sweden.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you live anywhere
lady
that you
who was-
learn knitting in school, let us know, because that is really cool.
Yeah, we're really curious.
We do
about-
not learn knitting in school.
No. The lady who posted spinning in the Mal is from Sweden.
Oh, okay.
Because
Right, because it was all in Swedish.
I don't know how to say this, but apple bark with the whatever would be the equivalent of a German umlaut on the A.
I think
in
it's still
Swedish,
called it an umlaut, but I'm not positive.
Is apple bark.
Oh, excellent.
Yes, because I was asking her about the breed of sheep she was spinning.
Yes.
So it was some sort of long wool. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, is that Wensleydale or is it like mohair locks? And she said she didn't know, but it was dyed with apple bark. And I was like, oh, I know how to say apple bark in Swedish now because I recognize it.
Excellent. Have you watched anything else besides Olympics?
I've watched. I finished watching all of the Helix.
Yeah. How was it? Terrible?
No, it was. I mean, it was weird, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. You would absolutely
hate it. I will not watch it. That's fine.
And there was a really surprising turn at the end that I didn't see coming. But it's like it would ruin a lot to say it. So,
okay. Well.
They left it kind of like there could be other seasons. Like it could be an ending on its own, but
They could come back.
it's open to more.
Okay.
So I'm thinking they're gauging kind of
How it goes.
How
Yeah.
it goes.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I really loved it. Some of the other things I've started, I gave up on. Like I had started the one on Crave. That was it was another post-apocalyptic one. I forget what it was called, but I watched 2 or 3 episodes and I was like, oh, it's good, but then it just sort of fizzled.
No.
But that Never the Twain, I officially gave up on. I brought it back to the store. So
I have a book that I'm reading. I mean, I've been reading actually quite a bit the last couple of weeks, but nothing really that I'll like. Couple teen books, couple romance,
short stories,
But-
fanfics.
Yeah, I am reading Against All Odds by PJ Noworinsky.
It looks like a fascinating book.
Because I thought it was a good time to read this because it is about Olympic hockey.
Yeah.
So
From wartime, right?
just after wartime. Because during World War II, the Olympics were canceled. What shock.
Yeah.
But in 1948 would have been the first Winter Olympics after the war. And in 3 months before the Olympics, they announced that no professional hockey players could go to the Olympics because it's supposed to be amateur. Which I don't know when they changed that because there are lots of professional hockey players playing.
I think it was in the 80s or something, or 90s.
Oh, yeah, probably just after Miracle.
Yeah, it could
That's
be. Yeah.
1980. All I know is the plot.
The Miracle on Ice, yeah.
Miracle on Ice story.
It was in the 80s or
That was
90s
the 80
because it was while I
Olympics.
was living in Mansonville.
Okay.
So
Anyway, 3 months before the Olympics, and basically the only country that it really affected badly was Canada.
Because a lot of professional hockey players at the time were from Canada.
Like all the professional leagues were in Canada. There were a few teams here elsewhere, but so the Canadian Olympic Committee announced that they would not be sending a team. And Canada went nuts because
Canada loves its hockey. Not every Canadian does.
No, not every Canadian.
Canada
we
loves
both
its
used to
hockey.
hate hockey. Well, we used to hate hockey fans.
Yeah.
And now we are them. Sorry. But Canada has this thing about, like, even if you hate hockey, like, I hated hockey and I still watched Olympic hockey.
Yeah.
Because
it's just
a
part of our
pride thing. It
culture.
is part of our culture. We must win gold at the Olympics. Yeah. It's terrible for, like, the World Juniors. Like, people are nasty to these poor 18-year-old kids if they don't win.
Yeah.
It's nuts. But anyway.
We're back.
Okay.
My mom and dad tried to call.
Okay. Okay, I'm talking about this book again. So with 3 months to go, there wasn't going to be a Canadian team, and Canada went nuts. And so a doctor in the RCAF, Royal Canadian Air Force, decided to put together a team completely made up of Royal Canadian Air Force players. Yes. Anyone, like, he couldn't play because he had, played like 2 games on a professional team, and they got a couple coaches that couldn't play because they had played professional. Because at that point there was senior senior hockey leagues that got paid a pittance, but they were considered professional. So basically, and he got the Air Force behind this, and so the Air Force paid to ship these guys in from all their different posts all over Canada to Ontario, of course, to try out for the team. And it's really kind of cool because it's all these people who, all these men who had fought in the war. Like some of them had been like pilots, navigators. Some worked on like air crews. So it's really cool because it talks about some of their stories, what they went through in the war, being shot down in Europe and surviving. One of them had been in POW camps and escaped, and then got caught again, and then escaped, and then anyway.
So it's not just about the hockey team.
It's not just
the
about
history, or the story of these people who
so
were part of it.
a lot of it is about how they put together the hockey team and like the tryouts and everything, and then when they went to the Olympics. I'm only on like chapter 4, but it's really interesting. But yeah, a lot of it was like how they grew up and stuff. Ooh, I just flipped it open and it said Peace River, which is right by here. But anyway, but yeah, really interesting book so far. It's going to be the quickest read ever because look at that print size.
It's huge print.
It's because it's aimed at old men, but it's my kind of book. So
yeah,
and it's cool, and it's got some really neat vintage hockey photos in there. So I'm really excited, even though the team was called the Flyers.
Oh.
And that brings up bad connotations.
She's a Pens fan.
I'm a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, though I haven't watched them in months. And apparently, Sid and Gino and Kessel are all being crazy good right now.
Oh yeah.
But I haven't watched any men's hockey in ages. But that's all right. I'll watch all these Olympic stuff and then I'll go back to my team.
I just noticed when I took off my shawl that I'm wearing. So Cindy does chainmail. And
she can't get that off. So I make chainmail. And this is something I had made for her. It's just a little it's a chainmail cage.
It's a chainmail cage around a D20.
Which is a 20-sided dice.
A 20-sided dice.
Or a 20-sided die.
So
for those of you who aren't nerds.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's for a lot of games use 20-sided dice.
Mainly role-playing games. Yeah. D&D. Yeah.
Well, or Magic or GURPS.
Magic doesn't.
No? GURPS did. Some.
GURPS.
Yeah. Anyway.
And there's a whole, anyway.
Middle Earth role-playing did.
Nope. They only use D10s.
It's a 20-sided dice. So
Yes.
you have an emergency D20 with you.
Yours isn't an emergency one.
No.
So the other ones I make, basically you can open it up
Yeah.
and take the dice out and use
they have
it.
a lobster class, so you,
Yeah,
you can use it.
This one is just a
Yeah, just a nerd thing.
nerdy thing. We're nerds.
Yeah.
Anything else we gotta talk about? Because we've gone past the, well, you can't tell because we paused it, but
Yeah.
we've gone past the hour mark.
Did we?
Yes,
Was it
we were
that high?
past the hour mark before your parents called.
Crap. Maybe we should cut some stuff out.
No, well, it will be not far past.
So apparently you've listened to us babble long enough. So let's have Tink say bye. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
See ya.